Kyrie Irving is finally back, and NBA fans are super excited to see what Kyrie Irving's future is gonna look like. As of right now, Kyrie Irving is only playing away games for the Nets because right now in New York, the mandate says each player has to be vaccinated to play at all. But to simply put it, it's better to have him for away games than none. Kyrie Irving has been very vocal on saying he's not going to change his mind, and even if they go for a deep playoff run, he's not going to get vaccinated just to play. And honestly, I respect that, and for what it looks like, the Brooklyn Nets are slowly starting to respect that as well. From what we know so far, the Brooklyn Nets are even willing to pay the fine if Kyrie Irving plays a home game without being vaccinated. And of course, from there, more conversations could begin. But for this video, I don't want to get into that. I want to be talking about the possibility of Kyrie Irving being traded to a team that I believe would be an amazing idea. Imagine if Kyrie Irving got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, reuniting with LeBron James. A lot of you Laker fans right now would love to see this happen. After trading for Russell Westbrook this season, the conversation heading into the NBA trade deadline is who are the Lakers going to trade away Russell Westbrook for, because right now the fit of Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, it just doesn't fit. And a lot of people want to see Kyrie Irving alongside LeBron because we've seen in the past that duo simply match perfectly. And I believe somehow, someway, if Kyrie Irving ends up on the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, remember, Anthony Davis is a big-time upgrade over Kevin Love, I believe this new big three in LA would simply make them a way better team right now than with Russell Westbrook. With the NBA trade deadline less than 20 days away, I believe right now Rob Pelinka is scrambling, making multiple phone calls to see the interest and of course the market for Russell Westbrook. And sooner or later, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie Irving's name immediately pops up, because right now the Brooklyn Nets are dealing with some struggles of their own. So for this video, let's have some fun, let's dream big, and talk about the possibility of how the Lakers can trade for Kyrie Irving this season during this year's NBA trade deadline to win a championship. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So if you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. It would help out the channel a lot. Just one more announcement, my channel memberships have officially opened up. Of course, if you would like to be a part of the ezGANG, be sure to check it out if you want special badges, custom emojis, and of course, special perks only for ezGANG members. So of course, check that out. We'd love for all the OGs in the channel to be a part of that. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about how the Lakers can get Kyrie Irving. It is no secret that in the past, the Lakers have had interest in Kyrie Irving before, and Kyrie Irving himself has had interest in going to the Lakers, of course before going to Brooklyn. A Lakers rumor in 2019 says this: Kyrie Irving is more open to joining LeBron James, LA in free agency. And then of course, after seeing this report in 2019, Kyrie Irving ultimately chose to go to the Brooklyn Nets, joining Kevin Durant. According to Brian Windhorst of ESPN, he says there has been a thawing between Irving and LeBron James in recent months that could make LA an option for Kyrie. And during that time, if Kyrie joined the Lakers, he would have actually won an NBA championship that season. Kyrie Irving says this himself: obviously, that was a big deal for me because I had to call LeBron and tell him I apologize for being that young player that wanted everything at his fingertips and I wanted everything at my threshold. I want to be the guy that led us to a championship. I want to be the leader. I want to be all that. And the responsibility of being the best in the world and leading your team is something that is not meant for many people. With this quote, Kyrie Irving is recognizing the value of LeBron James. He continues and says, LeBron was one of those guys who came to Cleveland and tried to show us how to win a championship. And it was hard for him, and sometimes getting the most out of the group is not the easiest thing in the world. Kyrie Irving said this after he struggled with the Boston Celtics during his time there. But honestly, I truly respect his honesty. But the good news for Kyrie Irving is that right now he's still playing on a championship squad of the Brooklyn Nets, and honestly, if everybody's healthy, the Brooklyn Nets do have a great chance of winning it all. But there is one issue, especially for the Brooklyn Nets front office, and the question now is it worth keeping Kyrie Irving because he's not going to be available for home games? And of course, if you go for a deep playoff run, you're going to want all your players available to help you contribute to a winning squad and of course a winning streak. And with Kyrie Irving being very straight up saying he's not going to change his mind and is not going to follow the city's mandate, the Brooklyn Nets might feel it's smart to trade away Kyrie Irving right now for a player that will be available every single game during the postseason. And this is where the Lakers come in. If the Brooklyn Nets are going to actively shop Kyrie Irving, they should put Russell Westbrook on the table. So far this season, Russell Westbrook is the only player on the Lakers roster to have played every single game and is really healthy right now. And the Brooklyn Nets just need that player. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are dealing with an unhealthy Kevin Durant, who's going to be out the next 6 to 8 weeks. They already have Kyrie Irving not playing home games, and the recent news is that potentially James Harden could be leaving this summer and relocate, which is kind of scary. And I believe the Brooklyn Nets have to be smart right now and do whatever they can to win a championship this year to 1, keep James Harden around, and 2, actually execute a perfect offseason without the negativities of Kyrie Irving sitting out. And if the Brooklyn Nets need an immediate trade partner, the Lakers come right in, as right now they're in the trade market. Rob Pelinka is making so many calls and trying to get a deal done, as during this NBA trade deadline and mid-season, they want to make a big-time upgrade because the Lakers also want to make a push in the Western Conference. So if the Lakers want to get Kyrie Irving, I believe this would be the perfect deal. It'll be the Lakers offering up Russell Westbrook and Talen Horton-Tucker in exchange for Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris. I believe this is a perfect deal. It matches salary perfectly, and both teams get what they want. On the Brooklyn Nets perspective, as I mentioned earlier, they get a healthy start that's going to be available for all games, playing alongside James Harden and Kevin Durant in the postseason, and then of course gives us that nostalgic feeling of the previous OKC team of Russ, Harden, and Kevin Durant. If I'm going to be honest, Russell Westbrook simply fits a lot better on Brooklyn, as he's more of a pass-first player, and of course with Kevin Durant and James Harden being very good catch-and-shoot players, they're a big-time upgrade over the Lakers in that specific area. When you look at it this way, on the Lakers, LeBron James and Russell Westbrook are not the best three-point shooters out there, so of course when it comes to floor spacing and both of them on the floor, it's kind of a struggle to be efficient together. But of course on the Brooklyn Nets, that area of difficulty immediately drops, as KD and Harden can play off the ball perfectly and have done that a lot during their careers, as Harden has played with Russell Westbrook before, and of course even Chris Paul. A bonus in this deal for the Brooklyn Nets is getting Talen Horton-Tucker. I believe this is a bonus cherry on top for the Brooklyn Nets, as I believe Kyrie Irving is better than Russell Westbrook, especially at scoring, and if the Brooklyn Nets are going to trade away their star point guard, they're going to want at least a development project alongside a star of Russell Westbrook, and I genuinely believe this would be good for Brooklyn. On the Lakers' perspective, as I mentioned earlier, I do believe Kyrie Irving is better than Russell Westbrook, so this deal immediately gives them that edge when it comes to scoring, floor spacing, and of course having a player off the ball to make LeBron James the primarily ball handler. And then of course, if they trade away Russell Westbrook, I do believe they could start LeBron James at the starting point guard, put Kyrie Irving as the shooting guard, and then 2 great defensive players at the small forward and power forward with Anthony Davis at the 5. I believe this would be a perfect and ideal Lakers lineup if they get a Kyrie Irving deal done. If I'm gonna be honest, the reason why I'm pushing this trade so hard is because of the nostalgic feeling we get to see when it comes to a previous Cleveland team of LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. We all know these two have chemistry and have won the championship together in 2016, but then on the Brooklyn Nets perspective, we see a reunion of Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, previous OKC teammates. This trade gives us 2 nostalgic feelings, and of course I believe would shake the NBA and make all of us excited to see the outcome, and then of course the solution for whatever each team just did. Kyrie Irving being traded to the Lakers, yet alone being traded, it's a far-fetched area and a far-fetched scenario, but honestly in the NBA, anything could happen. So of course, Kyrie being traded to the Lakers, let's all dream that would happen. But what's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe this is a good scenario for the Brooklyn Nets and the Lakers, or do you believe the Brooklyn Nets should not trade Kyrie Irving at all? Put your thoughts down in the comments below, but other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!
I got it.